All right, this is Grandfather. Now, as many of you have noticed, the toxic elements, either of societies or created by societies, meaning members of societies, people, yes, are beginning to be overwhelming. However, all of this is built upon who and what you really are, and supported by who you are when you actually arrive on the planet. This means when you're born through your mothers, you come out innocent, and as some people say, not entirely without cause, golden. This meaning displaying your true essence, unvarnished, so to speak. So, our job these days, those of you who are understanding that magic, as we call it here, is simply a means of transformation done benevolently so that all beings benefit, and that there is no exceptions to that rule. So the transformation is likely to happen, though sometimes it takes a while for some transformations. Other times, just freeing up that energy to transform and to become who you really are, in spirit, in soul, and as those golden ones, as you arrive, born through Mother. Just because you get bigger and become adults doesn't mean you don't have at the root of your being that golden being, that soul, that spirit, who you really are. So, today, we're going to focus on helping to revive that being in all beings, meaning in all human beings, because it is present in the animals, and they know it. It is present in the plants, and they surely know it. It is present in Mother Earth, and Earth knows this. So, now we need to remind you, to remind yourselves that it is present in you as well. So, first, we're going to ask, you say, I am asking that all the most benevolent energies that are available for me be all around me and all about me now. Some of you won't have to actually say that because you're doing this work now, and it just naturally comes up for you. So if your energy naturally comes up for you to support you, you probably know it by the feeling, and you can skip that step. But for others of you who aren't sure about the feeling yet, or don't have feelings that you can really identify physically in your body yet, then you say that, and wait a few seconds. 15, 20 seconds ought to do it. Try not to make it a habit to glance at clocks, but if you need to, do so, and make certain, to the best of your ability, that you won't be distracted, meaning turn the ringers off on your phones and other devices that might beep at you, alright? Or put them someplace where you can't hear them, and know that you'll pick up your messages later. Then, after you've said that, alright, asking for your benevolent energies to be near you. Then say, I'm asking that the natural, native energy of all human beings on this planet Earth be present in our bodies, in our natural energy that we radiate, in our personalities, for us all, in the most benevolent way for all beings. Some of you will feel an energy come up. And if it does, as you know, whether you're in the middle of the words or towards the end, pause. So I want you to write those words down. All right? And say the words. And then it's all right to glance. You can have your eyes open or closed. It's all right to glance at the words as you need to. All right? And if the energy comes up, pause until it passes. Not completely, just passes somewhat. It will still be there at a moderate or low level. That's fine. Then continue on to the end of the words. For some of you who are really feeling a lot of energies now, that could happen several times during stating the words. So just always pause. That's the light beings, also known to some of you as angels, carrying out the work that you are requesting in this benevolent way, you see. So, that's the living prayer version. Some of you are doing true magic, and I feel it's important to continue that tradition. But we're going to simplify it a bit, especially for those of you who've been doing it for a while. I still think it is best to go out on the land someplace, where you normally go. But if you've been doing true magic for a while, and there is some place near your home or in your home where you can do this and you still feel a lot of that energy, then you can do it there. This is particularly helpful if it's raining or snowing or there's too much wind to go out or what have you. All right. This is what to do. I recommend you start up facing north doing this, you understand. But for some of you, it won't feel quite right. So you face the direction it feels best for you. All right. Follow my usual procedures. All right. You know what they are. We'll put a link somewhere on one of the blogs so you can refresh your memory on that. This would be things that have been written on the blogs. Then, this is what to do. First, raise your arms over your head so that your hands come together and touch. Don't be concerned if the first contact doesn't have your hands line up thumb to thumb and finger to finger. It's all right to adjust after you get your hands up there. Some of you may not be able to do that for some perfectly good reason. In that case, then put your hands together. Can you see this? I'm sure you can. It's very simple. Just put your hands together in front of your body, even if you have to rest your elbows, say, on a chair. Perhaps some of you are in wheelchairs. That's all right. If you're in the bed and you can't get out, then you can do the same from the bed. Just put your hands together there. But I'm going to speak to you as if you are able to stand and move about. for the rest of it. Now, make one complete rotation to the left and end up facing the direction you started. As I say, I recommend north, and I'm going to proceed as if you were doing that. Then, I'd like you to take your hands, put them in front of you, okay, like this, so that your fingers are slightly and softly interlaced around the tips, okay? Just softly, don't squeeze. And then after you do that, just go like that, all right? As if somebody were handing you something, and you reached for it with both your hands like that. I hope you can see that. So then, after you make that gesture, gradually lower your hands to your sides so that your hands are loosely, all right? Your arms are loosely hanging at your sides, but not touching your legs. If you happen to bump into your legs, just correct it so that your hands are just a little bit away from your sides, all right? Some of you will have to hold your arms out a bit, but if you have to, that's fine, so your hands aren't touching your sides. That's by way of welcoming, all right? Then, this is what to do. Put your hand, this hand, all right, in the wand position. Now you know that position. I'm going to demonstrate it a bit. Move the hand around. But you know that position, all right? And this will probably go up on at least the Benevolent Magic blog, so you'll see at the top a picture of the wand position for your hand. For some of you, you've had damage to your hands. Put your hand in that position to the best of your ability, all right? So, then we're going to use this hand and support it. I know you don't need to support it, most of you, but we're going to do that so to involve this part of your body. So, it's like this. Alright. I do not think the camera has much of a wide focus, so hopefully you can see that. Alright. This is the key right here, so that your thumb and first finger are supporting the bend in your hand here. Now you don't move your hands around like that, I'm just moving them in hopes that you get the best view. Then with your hands out in front of you like that, or lined up roughly with your chest or your solar plexus, wherever it feels good, then say this: I am asking that all the toxic elements, whether they be machinery, the output of machinery, or behaviors, and all else, of all societies, human and otherwise, on the planet, here, now be moderated greatly in the most benevolent way, and that the benevolent elements of all beings, human and otherwise, be felt by all human beings and others, and demonstrated confidently by all human beings and others, in the most benevolent way for all beings now. Now you might want to know why I said in others, and that's for those of you who have pets. Sometimes animals, you see, will take on certain personality traits that remind one of the people that they live with, or opposite traits to balance them out. After you have said those words, just the way I said them, all right, then put your hands back down at your sides. If you happen to touch your legs, don't worry, but try to keep them away from your legs. Make one complete rotation to the left, ending up facing north, or approximately north. It doesn't have to be exactly. And when you do some of these things, by the way, since you might be inside a building and there's things that might catch your eye and distract you, it's all right to have your eyes closed. So when you get to the point where you think you might be facing north or approaching that complete rotation, open your eyes a little bit and check and see. That's fine. You can do the same when you're outdoors. All right. Then just go like this. So take a deep breath and just release it. All right. Then look down at the ground and then look forward. Essentially, you're going to nod 3 times. But if your eyes are closed, open them to look down at the ground and close them after that. So, eyes closed, looking forward, then looking down at the ground and opening your eyes, then closing your eyes to bring your head up. You understand? Then relax and take 3 side steps to the left, and then make a 1/4 rotation to the left, and take 5 or 6 or as much as 8 side steps to the left. All right? And you have your eyes open when you're doing that and looking down at the ground, especially for those of you who are outside. So you can make sure you're not stepping on anyone or anything, to the best of your ability. You may not always be able to tell. Then, after you finish those 5 or 6 or as much as 8 side steps, rotating to the left, turn until you are facing the position you need to face and walk on with your life. I recommend that, as always, if you're going out on the land to do this, that you have somebody that can drive you back to where you need to go, and you don't talk for about 20 minutes at least. And you don't listen to music. Nothing to distract you. All right, because you'll still be in the energy. And even though you're no longer in that physical place, if you've been out on the land, you see, or even in the case of in a home where you may have gone on to do other things, you're still interacting with the energies and they're still interacting with you. If you're in your home, for instance, and you have a comfortable chair nearby, you can sit down, but don't do anything. Just sit down, close your eyes, and rest. Some of you might actually fall asleep. That's okay. If you don't, though, then just sit there and try not to think. If you catch yourself thinking, don't get down on yourself. Just stop. Recognize that you're a human being and be tolerant of such things. And just try not to think for about 20 minutes. It's all right to glance at a clock nearby. I recommend that if you're doing these things, especially if you wear a watch that's electronic or has any elements that are electronic, and many of them have batteries, that you will have taken your watch off. All right. Some of you will have removed the metal from your bodies. That's best. But I don't actually expect you to do that, especially if you have, for instance, wedding rings or something like that on, that you don't normally remove, Or some of you might have body jewelry that you don't normally remove. You don't have to remove that. But I do recommend that you remove things that are electronic. Of course, if you have a pacemaker, it's not necessary to remove that because that's well shielded in your body. So don't worry about that. Things like that, medical devices, don't worry. They're well shielded. So, that's what I recommend. Now, we'll be giving other things like this in the future, but this is very much of a blanket generalization. It covers a great many things, and it reaches into exactly what you need to reach into now. All right? Good life.